D&D. Oh, I shouldn't eat these. I shouldn't eat things I don't know.
No, you should not.
Yeah,
You're just going up to random bushes and then you and shoving the plants in your face.
Feed me. Anyway, but yeah, like some D&D. Well, actually, D&D came out. Wizards of the Coast, who makes D&D, they came out with one thing called the Dragonomicon that does most of the dragons, but not all of them. Like the astral dragon and like some metallic dragons aren't in there, but they have like stuff for all the regular dragons that you would see. Oh shoot, what was? Anyway, and like how some of them like converse with society, or how some are actually. There we go. Oh, I'm full. Or how some actually actually I'm gonna make myself a rabbit trap right here.
Cool.
Hopefully I remember it's right here though. Right here?
Yeah. Trap. In the traps. Right. Purple? Sorry, not purple. Pink-ish. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like I think in 5e, cause like I played back when I first started playing D&D. I played. I didn't realize that there's different rules for the different books, and so like I went to Half Price Books because my family I convinced my family to play with me, and like we actually had a pretty good time because like all of us like using sort of imagination. So we're not so much into it for like the combat or whatever. We're more into it for like the storytelling aspect.
Yeah.
Because like all my like family is like writers and like storytellers and stuff. But so when I bought the books, I had a player's handbook from 5e, but then I had a dungeon master's guide from Advanced D&D, which is the second edition, I believe. I believe it's the second edition of D&D, and then I had a monster guide, also from I had a monster guide from either 2.5, or 3. I forget. But yeah, and so like, and I was comparing sort of the stuff, because then later I tried to complete any of the sets that I had. So I bought an advanced player's handbook and stuff like that. But yeah, and I was trying to sort of use it like back when it was advanced D&D. There's so much more role-playing aspects of it. Like the combat was there, yeah, but like there was a lot more instructions on like, oh, you want to build a tavern. This is how much materials cost. This is who you need to hire. This is how much a builder would cost per hour, that sort of thing. And there's a lot more role-playing elements, I feel, than in 5e. Because like I looked at 5e's manual, and 5e's manual is more based on combat and around combat. And like with the people I've played 5e with, they use it. They're basically like playing Skyrim, but like on a board game.
Yeah.
Like in a board game sort of setting. But like, I don't know. The reason why I play D&D is for that sort of role playing element, and for like that sort of fantasy. Like I can do whatever I want. I can oh yeah, well I don't want to go adventuring. I want to build a tavern. I want to run a tavern sort of thing.
And like for me, I try to use it as an exercise in acting. Not directly. I mean, I guess it's indirect. It's a secondary effect, quote unquote, from me just being an actor and me wanting to try out different acting stuff. Like accents. I wanted to try different accents. So for me, it's also more of a role-playing aspect. Like most of my fond memories from D&D, I mean, I'm more of a new player. I've only been playing for 2-3 years, I think. But most
I'm a new player. I've only been playing for 3 years.
Sorry. Oh, so sad. Anyway, most of my memories that I like, or fond memories anyway, has been from role playing, and not I did this pretty cool thing to KO a boss. Like I mean, I could care less about KOing a boss unless it's pertinent to the plot or like my character arc. Like my character Yakimoff, who's making a return in this session or this campaign I'm part of. He's coming back as NPC, and one of Yakimoff's goals, because he's a turtle, but he wanted to become a dragon. And since it was a homebrew setting, he was a turtle sorcerer who had the whatchamacallit, the ancestral dragon blood from a mithril dragon. So, and also he regarded anything that had scales as a cousin. So, I just thought that was cool. Like, I befriended baby dragons basically. My DM threw 3 wormlings at us, and my first thought was not to attack it, but to shout cousins. And I rolled a high charisma, and we had 3 baby white dragons for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah. Yeah, like my most fun playing D&D was like in more urban settings sort of stuff where like, you know, like in one of my campaigns I was playing as a character called oh, I forgot his name now. But anyway, he was a this was in 5e, and so he was a rogue. He was a rogue Charlotte or whatever it's called. The urban guys. And yeah, and so like, you know, and so the most fun I had wasn't even doing combat. I was doing social challenges because, you know, because I infiltrated the high society pretending to be a lord.
I've heard the story.
Yeah. Anyway, and so pretending to be a lord and things like that because like we needed to, I think, go and find out information from some like a lord or count or something like that. And, you know, yeah, and so like the entire session was, you know, was me like slowly working my way up, you know, the social ladder and stuff like that, you know, and like talking to different lords and talking to different ladies and stuff like that, and like becoming like known, like, oh, you know, did you hear this guy? Yeah, and then eventually, and then at the very end of that sort of campaignish sort of, well, not campaign actually, my character got cut short. Like 2 sessions later, I was arrested for high treason for impersonating an agent of the Royal Academy, and yeah, and I had a whole trial sort of thing as well. And yeah, basically I was exiled from the nation for for impersonating a thing. But like that was so much more fun than, you know, than like, oh, I rolled, you know, oh, look at that, I swing my sword at this guy again. Like, I don't know, it just, I want to play D&D for reasons and to do things that I can't do in video games, that, you know, video games just aren't very good at coding for, because like video games, like, they're great and stuff like that for combat. Like, they're very, you know, like, this is great, but like for social, like, there's only a handful of games I know of that are really, really good at, you know, truly doing good social encounters. And so I just feel like the strength of D&D isn't so much in combat, it's in social encounters. Because like I said, like, even if you want turn-based combat, like, you know, you can play games like XCOM has pretty good I would say better turn-based combat than D&D. Or like whatchamacallit, what's the Divinity, Original Sin 2. Yeah, like that's turn-based combat. Again, I think it's a bit better than D&D. And so it's just, I think the strength of D&D is in social encounters, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, or, you know, and so instead they use it for like a fantasy wish fulfillment, which using it for fantasy wish fulfillment isn't, you know, so far hasn't worked for me, because all the cool things I wanted to do, you know, I can't do because, you know,
the majority.
You get, well, no, because you have to like roll at disadvantage and stuff like that. I'm really bad at rolling. I mean, you can't obviously, but like I'm really bad at rolling, and so like, you know, oh, I want to backflip, you know, and while I'm upside down, I want to shoot this guy in the eyeball. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you have to roll a nat 20 at disadvantage. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just.
I think the DM saying like you have to roll this kind of takes away from it. Like, I think you should be able to just roll, and then he'll determine it without having to say, oh, and this was that. You.
Yeah. No. Yeah. A lot of the DMs a lot of the DMs I play with don't actually tell you what you need to roll, because it's more like, it's, I don't know. I don't like it when people like ask like, oh, how much do I need to roll? Like, well, you don't know that, just roll and I'll tell you what happens. Yeah. You know, and because I think
go for it. Just see what happens.
Well, and again, I think that's the advantage of D&D is that you can have more homebrew rules. So it's not so much you either complete or didn't complete this sort of challenge. It's more, you know, how well did you complete your goal? Yeah. You know, your goal is to shoot the orc in the eyeball. You know, and like, say for example you need to roll an 18 to do that, but you roll like a 16. Like, oh, well, you missed his eyeball, but, you know, pretty close, so you hit him in the cheek. You know, so that's still pretty. You still did damage. Yeah. You didn't do exactly what you wanted to do, but you still close. Did damage.
Like, I guess one combat related thing I remember was same thing with Yakimov. Since he's a turtle, he can go in his shell for defense. And I asked the DM, like, hey, I just don't know because I've never tried this before. But can I? Because we were in a cave that was closing. We got trapped. It was like a trap cave, whatever. The walls were closing in.
The walls are closing in.
Yeah, and so it's like, can I like dash on my turn and then like hop in my shell for like some bowling ball action? And he let me do it.
That's brilliant.
And I helped us get out the cave because there was like kobolds or whatever blocking the front. I was like, I'm not dying today. I'm not gonna get a TPK because we tried to rescue someone and oh no.
I had the funniest TPK. I think I still have the funniest TPK. I've never heard anyone ever have a funnier one. So I was playing as a character called Velt, and like whenever I make D&D characters, that's like sort of aside. Whenever I make D&D characters, my characters always the entire point of me doing characters is to explore some kind of moral. Because I'm a writer. I've been writing my entire life, and I've been published a few places. I'm not gonna tell you guys because you guys have to find out. That's not really part of it, but anyway. But yeah, no, and it's like I'm a writer, and I identify myself as a writer, and like I said, I think I'm a decent writer. I think my publishers think I'm a decent writer as well. But yeah, so my D&D characters explore moral. I use them as characters. My characters don't have the backstory. Oh, my village was destroyed by a dragon, and so I hate dragons. Like, that's not the point of my characters. My characters explore different moral philosophies or theologies, or, things like that.
Quick question: do I put the water on the
fire
pit?
Yeah,
I'm assuming. Yeah.
And so you light it, and then you can go on the thing. And so like one of the, I think if you press R, then you can scroll onto the. Go into your pot. I think you have to put it on there manually.
Oh, not that.
Yep.
See.
And you can make stew. You can't make stew in this game either. Like, developers, get on this. Like, I know you're not going to because you're done with developing the game. But like, modders or developers or something, get on this. Like, you can't make stew. Oh, you can. Never mind. Good job, developers. Good job, developers. Good job.
What's the?
I appreciate you.
I don't know. I'm just putting stuff in there.
Maybe you can make tea. Okay, developers, I take back what I said. Good job. Good on you, lads. Oh yeah, just fill it up full of meat. Oh, we're gonna have good stew tonight. Oh my gosh. Oh,
be eating pretty boys.
It's delicious. Oh my gosh. Oh, so great. Anyway, and so the Velt character was Velt had personality disorder, and so there's two different my understanding of it. Obviously, it's not the actual, but my understanding of it. And so he had two different sort of personalities. One was Velt, who's true evil. And then the other one was Officer Higby, I think was his name, or something. Yeah, I think so. And then he was true good. And so the point of the character was me exploring what makes evil, because I don't really believe that there's such thing as true evil. I think and so it was me sort of trying to sort of explore that through a character, because Velt's ultimate goal was to destroy all heroes, all good guys, but before he could do that, he needed to kill all the bad guys first, so the good guys knew it was him that killed them, and so he had to kill all the bad guys first before he could kill the good guys. And obviously, by definition, you can't kill the bad guys because there's always going to be more bad guys, which meant that that one, Velt was killing bad guys, and two, Velt would never be able to kill good guys because there's always going to be more bad guys, which means that essentially Velt was doing a hero's job just for ulterior motives, but because he could never reach his end goal, does his end goal actually count? Does it actually matter why he's defeating, why he's killing bad guys if it?
Is this ready?
I'm not sure. I've never actually made a stew before. But it looks like you can eat it. So can try.
Oh, there we go.
Oh crap! Holy, look at that!
It's your boy.
Some stew. Can you do it with seawater?
That's what I wanted to try
it, yeah.
initially. Cause like.
Yeah, you might be able to do it with seawater. Cause it's so weird, freaking eating stew every single night.
Yeah, we're eating
seawater stew.
Bird seawater stew.
Eating like kings. No, okay, that makes sense.
Frick.
That makes sense.
What's that?
Coral.
Is that just sticks?
It's coral.
Oh, it is, huh?
Or yeah, sticks or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I can't break that.
Yeah, and you know, and so in the course of, I don't know, and so in the course of the game, you know that because so essentially the at nighttime I was playing as Velt, and then in daytime I would switch personalities to.
Was your character aware that he had this?
No, no, he wasn't.
Okay.
At all. Yeah, and so he had no recollection of what he did. And the funny thing about it was that Officer Higby was trying to capture Velt.
But he can never catch him.
Yeah, and so it's
not
funny.
the case with not to steal your thunder or anything, but like Heavy Rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm
I
not
think so.
sure. I've never actually played Heavy Rain. I think so though.
I don't.
But yeah.
I haven't played it either.
I don't know. But yeah, and so like, you know, and Officer, and again, Velt was true evil, and Officer Higby was true good, and so there was no you know, to Officer Higby it was black and white, good and bad. So you know, so there's no sort of middle ground in things. You know, you can't kill anybody because he's Kantian essentially in his ethics, and so you know, and so if killing someone is bad, then it's always bad. There's no, you know, and which means, you know, which is funny because
detain over destroy.
Yeah, which is funny because it's D&D, and so you know, Officer Higby could never kill anybody because, you know, because that killing is bad. You have to arrest everybody. Yeah, and so at the end of that, Officer Higby, because the DM gave me a castle, like a castle in a bag essentially.
Oh, the castle spell.
Yeah, the castle spell is something, and so we're fighting in a dungeon, underneath a castle, and it was just me, it was just Officer Higby or whatever, and you know, and we're fighting against, I don't know, something like, I think Draconics or something, or you know,
Dragonborn?
I don't know. They spoke Draconic. I don't know what they were though. Yeah, and so we're fighting against them and stuff, and like my entire team gets killed, and you know, and like then these guys are still like full health, and there's still the boss, and there's his two henchmen, and there's obviously I can't obviously do it because like Officer Higby is a rogue, and so I can't. A rogue is not gonna be able to kill all three of these guys when they're almost full health, and I have nobody else.
Not
to
with
help
that
me.
attitude. I'm kidding.
You know, and so like, in my reading of the spell, because your heroes have to make saving death rolls, but they're also kind of just pushed out of the way of these spells. Like the spell doesn't affect them as far as like positioning goes. It'll crush an enemy, but it won't crush your fellows because, you know, they have to make death saves sort of stuff. And so like I was thinking more in like video games terms, because in video games terms
you can't realize.
Yeah. If it's not coded, then you'll just sort of get pushed out of the way or whatever. You'll just go to the top. Go face to the floor or whatever. And so I spawned the castle underneath of the huge dungeon, which meant the dungeon collapsed. And in my working theory, you know, the huge castle would just push my friends away from danger and crush the enemy, which it did that. Except for then the dungeon above us collapsed, and my friends died. Every single one of them died because they got crushed. I made it out, and my pet monkey made it out as well. But my entire party died. And then everyone was very cross at me, which I don't understand why, because it's just D&D. But yeah, and they were very, very cross at me. So, yeah.
But I think that's all for now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we will be back next time. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I've been London.
I've still been John.
And we'll see you guys
next time.
Cheers.